If you're an Arsenal fan, who are you wanting to go through tonight out of PSG or Bayern Munich?
Who would you like to face in the final?
Come on, man. You can't ask me that. You know I'm going to have to give a media trained answer to that question. But you know deep down who we want to face. That's what I'll say.
Now, I find that interview really interesting because the fact that he says they've got a predetermined notion of who they want to face rather than, just sort of saying they're both great, we'll see who we get. The fact that they actually actively want one of the two has had me guessing most of the day who it could be. Is it PSG so they can get revenge for that semi-final defeat last year? But with that, I would imagine that PSG would be the better team to face Arsenal out of the two. I think PSG would have the better chance. So in my head, that doesn't make sense. Now, obviously, Bayern Munich have Harry Kane, but I don't think Saka would focus the whole team's energy on the fact that Bayern Munich have Harry Kane. So that makes me think, they think the Bayern's easier game, obviously beat them earlier on in the league phase. But once again, it's a different Bayern than they played earlier on in the year. So I think it's a fair thing to say that Arsenal will be the underdog regardless of who goes through. I don't think that's rage bait. I think that's just sort of how it goes. But for Arsenal fans, which storyline is better? Getting to the final against PSG, getting revenge for the semi-final elimination last year, beating what everyone calls, the best team in Europe, obviously have been for the last year since winning the Champions League. But with that comes the jeopardy of facing, I would say, the better team out of the two. I feel like PSG are just a little notch up on Bayern Munich. But with Bayern Munich, you've also got a team that are devastating in attack. You've got a team that are full of experienced players, but haven't quite had the Champions League final experience that PSG have had. With the Bayern storyline, obviously you've got Harry Kane there. Arsenal managing to win their first Champions League against Tottenham's very own legend would be a real nice cherry on the cake for them. But again, Bayern are no mugs, do you know what I mean? While Arsenal fans should feel confident going into this game, and they'll see both of these teams can be got at defensively, as we've seen in this semi-final, you can only really be got at defensively if you've got the star power that PSG or Bayern have, which I don't feel Arsenal do. So with Arsenal being the underdogs, and I don't mean that as an insult, I think any other teams in world football would be underdogs to these two. For me, it would feel like a lesser of two evils in terms of, getting to the final. When we got there, it was Barcelona or Liverpool, do you know what I mean? So there was no one that I'm going, oh, right, we're going to do them. So for Arsenal fans in this situation now, which team would you rather face in the final?